Hello， 大家好，我係喜。英國移民白皮書公佈之後，相關嘅討論咧一直都冇斷過。其中咧最被港人關心嘅咧就係 BNO Visa 申請成為 PR 嘅門檻會唔會提高呢？會唔會由5+1變成10+1？有港人咧之前就發起咗網上聯署，要求維持 BNO Visa 本來咧申請 PR 嘅要求，就係咧居住滿5年，通過咧 B1 或者英文考試同埋咧 Live in the UK Test 就可以申請 PR 啦。呢個聯署咧係成功達到10萬簽署嘅門檻，英國政府咧係需要回應嘅，所以咧近日就舉行咗一場相關嘅辯論。大部分時間咧超過70%嘅議員咧，不論黨派咧，其實都認為唔應該改變 BNO Visa 本身定居嘅門檻，甚至話咧如果改變嘅話咧就係搬龍門，亦都咧提到好多 BNO Visa 持有人可能面對嘅困難，同埋咧英國政府係有人道同埋歷史嘅責任。以下咧就翻譯咗一啲議員發言嘅內容。以及咧最後英國政府代表咧有啲乜嘢回應，俾大家咧原汁原味咁樣去了解而家事情嘅發展。
An extremely well-made point by my honourable friend, and I would say I couldn't put it better myself, but I hope I can in my upcoming bit here. So I would urge the Minister to clarify today, will BNOs be included in these changes? What conversations has the Home Office had with the Foreign Office about the diplomatic consequences of this decision? And does the government regard the BNO scheme as a humanitarian or an economic scheme? Because to my mind, this is clear. This scheme is a humanitarian one, rooted in our duty to protect those who share our values but whose freedoms have been taken away from them. I'm just going to make my concluding remarks. To sum up, both petitions speak to a single principle: fairness. People who came here on a clear set of rules deserve to know what those rules are and that they won't change halfway through. Whether they are skilled workers staffing our hospitals or Hong Kongers seeking refuge from oppression, they are already contributing enormously to our country. In all the discussions about immigration, we must start from honesty about the different types of migration and what they mean for Britain. In recent years, there has been too much heat and not enough light. Today's debate is a chance for us to change that, and I hope the Minister will take the opportunity to provide that clarity.
My residents in Richmond Park are rightfully concerned about how these changes could affect their lives, the lives of their children, and their employment in the UK. The BNO visa is not a transactional visa. It is a moral commitment which the UK offered in response to the national security law and the dismantling of promised freedoms in Hong Kong. So I am deeply concerned about the government's decision to extend the route to indefinite leave to remain from 5 years to 10 years. In particular, that this lack of clarity over the BNO visa in the midst of increasing evidence of transnational repression from China and the looming planning decision on the Chinese mega embassy, it's concerning to me and to many of my constituents who could be affected by this change. The government must do better to provide assurance for the hundreds of thousands of BNO visa holders across the country, and this starts by giving them clarity over their immigration status and how this year's immigration white paper will affect them.
Clear, when we say BNO, it actually stands for British National Overseas. We are not talking about Hong Kongers or China. We are literally talking about people we recognise as British national overseas because of our historic relationship. And do you think we should be a lot clearer about that in how we treat them within our immigration system?
Thank you. I thank my honourable friend for that excellent point. She's, of course, right. And I am proud that we've welcomed many people who have that BNO status, who have that British overseas status, to my constituency in Hendon, particularly in Colindale. Our growing and vibrant community adds immeasurably to the life of our area. I've talked to many BNO holders who have come into the UK to start a new life. They are absolutely committed to our country for the long term. They are keen to put down roots. They are planning their working lives, their children's educations, their retirements here. But that is why the issue of the 5-year ILR timeframe is so important to them. Without ILR, BNO holders cannot get home fee arrangements at university for their children or access their pension savings from their mandatory Provident Fund accounts. I've talked to many families who this is affecting directly and profoundly, leaving them in great financial difficulty. Moreover, without ILR, they cannot begin the path to full UK citizenship. When they applied for their BNO status starting in 2021, they did so on the basis of a 5-year ILR period. Extending the ILR period for them will potentially create great uncertainty and hardship.
as I was saying, to now consider extending that to 10 years would be a betrayal of trust. And this change will have damaging consequences. Young Hong Kongers would face a decade-long wait to access university at home fee rates. Families would be locked out of £3 billion worth of retirement savings, unable to access at the moment due to the restrictions placed in Hong Kong. Many would be immobilised, unable to travel safely without risking contact with Chinese consulates, and children born here would have to wait until the age of 11 to gain a passport. And all of this would play directly into the hands of the Chinese government, who have long claimed that BNO holders misplaced their trust in Britain. Changing the rules now would hand them a huge propaganda victory. Now, we've had constituents on BNO visas write to me describing how the limbo of waiting for indefinite leave to remain makes it difficult to continue their education or apply for the jobs that they want. Others have shared how they are being harassed or surveyed, even here in the UK, simply for speaking out or being politically active. And this is about safety. The Hong Kong diaspora in the UK faces transnational repression, a term that's no longer abstract. In recent months, we've seen surveillance and intimidation of activists, bounties placed on UK residents, physical attacks, including the assault of a protester at the Manchester consulate, and attempts to break into the homes of exiled Hong Kongers. These are no longer isolated incidents. They are part of a systemic campaign, and the UK must respond with clarity and courage. In our borough of Sutton, I've heard personal stories of fear, resilience, and hope. Hong Kongers have opened businesses, joined our schools, and enriched our community. We must not bureaucracy or short-term politics undermine the commitment that was made in good faith. We must stand by Hong Kongers, guarantee their rights and secure their futures in a way that we promised.
Really tempting, given how profoundly he's setting out the importance of the Hong Kong community in the UK, to take this opportunity not only to recommit to supporting the Hong Kongers with the current route, but in fact use this as an opportunity to fix some of the things in the BNO visa route that have made it not quite as bespoke as it was originally intended through this process. Will he look at that as he looks at the overall immigration system?
Well, the honourable gentleman very kindly seeks to tempt me off topic slightly here, but he's made an excellent point, and I have heard it. But I do want to go back to the fundamental point around consultation. It is only right, we've heard from colleagues of the importance that this is to people all over the country. It is only right that those who may be affected by these proposals have a fair and equal opportunity to make their voices heard. That's precisely why we're moving forward with a consultation to ensure that any decision taken is rooted in evidence, with fairness, and has a clear understanding of the real world impact on those effects. I'll give way in a second, and I hope that members will accept in that sense that I won't prejudge the outcome of that consultation before it's taken place. I'll give way to my honourable friend from Rushcliffe.
Thank him for giving way and for his speech. Firstly, I'll just note that the clock is ticking, and I'd like him to recognise that, so it's really important that consultation is done quickly. But with that in mind, does he know at this stage whether different groups will be carved out within that consultation, for example, the BNO scheme, so there will be separate opportunity to comment on that and other routes?
Well, we'll be very much opening the consultation up for everybody to make the important points about how the system relates to them. So, the opposition spokesperson asked for that clarity. I can give that clarity too. Everybody will get that important opportunity to say how the proposals would affect them. I mean, that takes me to some of the things that colleagues have said. So,
總括嚟講，英國政府嘅回應呢，其實係冇任何嘅承諾嘅，好大程度呢都係重複翻之前嘅一個論調，就係呢會繼續諮詢。咁咧會有途徑咧俾大家公平咁樣去發聲。不過咧今次嘅辯論咧對於 BNO Visa 嘅持有人其實咧都係一個好嘅現象，表示咧跨黨派咧其實都係支持 BNO Visa 嘅持有人，認同咧香港人喺英國咧係有貢獻嘅，亦都係努力生活嘅一群，而且發言嘅大部分都係工黨嘅成員，可見咧認同 BNO Visa 同埋幫助港人去融入英國咧都係黨內嘅共識。即使咁樣嘅辯論咧暫時冇任何實質嘅成果。但起碼咧都係為 BNO Visa 同埋喺英國嘅港人咧排咗一個定心丸。好啦，咁今日影片咧就嚟到呢一度，中意個影片咧記得 like、subscribe、share。咁我哋下條片再見，拜拜。